Do you ever feel like you are pushing a massive boulder up a very steep hill? You save every penny you can find. You skip the fancy vacations and pack your own lunch every day. You look at your bank account and the balance barely seems to move. It feels like a slow and exhausting grind that will never end. But what if I told you that you are much closer to a breakthrough than you think? There is a hidden moment in your financial journey that changes everything. It is a silent tipping point that most people completely miss. It is the exact second when your money stops being a static pile of cash, and it starts becoming a living and breathing machine that works for you. Once you hit this point, the rules of the game change forever. You are no longer the one doing all the heavy lifting. Today, we are going to uncover exactly what this milestone is. We will look at the math that proves why the first part is so hard. And most importantly, we will show you how to reach this point of total freedom. If you have ever worried about your retirement, this is for you. Let us start with the hard truth about the beginning of your journey. In the first few years of investing, it feels like you are shouting into a void. You might put $500 into the market every month. After a year, you have $6,000 plus a tiny bit of interest. That interest might only be a few $100s. Compared to your hard work, that return feels like an insult. This is what experts call the dead zone of wealth building. It is the phase where your contributions do 95% of the work. Your money is like a small spark that needs constant fanning to stay alive. Many people look at their accounts during this stage and feel defeated. They think that at this rate, they will have to work until they are 90. But this is exactly where the greatest mistake happens. People stop contributing because they do not see the immediate results. They do not realize that the math of wealth is not a straight line. It is a curve that starts very flat before it shoots straight up. To understand this, we need to look at the first major hurdle. Most wealthy individuals agree that the first $100,000 is the hardest. Charlie Munger, the legendary investor, used to talk about this all the time. He said you have to get that first $100,000 no matter what. It does not matter if you have to walk everywhere or eat nothing but beans. Why is that specific number so important? Because it is the point where the engine finally starts to turn over. Until you have a significant base, the interest cannot do much. 10% of $1,000 is only $100. That will not even pay for a week of groceries. But 10% of $100,000 is $10,000. Suddenly, that is a meaningful amount of money that appeared out of nowhere. That $10,000 did not require you to sit in an office for 40 hours. It did not require you to deal with a difficult boss or a long commute. That is your money earning its own paycheck. But the real magic happens at a point even earlier than the first million. This is the tipping point we are here to discuss today. The tipping point happens when your annual investment gains equal your annual contributions. Let us break that down with a very simple and real example. Imagine you are able to save and invest $3,000 every single year. For many people, saving $3,000 a year takes real discipline. It means making choices every single day to prioritize your future self. Now imagine you invest that money into a standard index fund. Historically, the Standard & Poor's 500 has returned about 10% annually. At that rate, your tipping point happens when your portfolio reaches $30,000. Why $30,000? Because 10% of $30,000 is exactly $3,000. This is a profound psychological and mathematical moment. For the first time, your portfolio is creating as much wealth as you are. You are no longer alone in this struggle to build your future. You now have a silent partner who is matching your contributions, dollar for dollar. Every year from this point on, your wealth will grow twice as fast as before. And the best part is that your partner never gets tired and never takes a day off. As your balance grows beyond $30,000, your partner starts doing more work than you. When you hit $60,000, your money is earning $6,000 a year. That is double what you are putting in from your own salary. This is where the snowball effect truly begins to take over. The boulder is no longer being pushed uphill by your hands alone. It has reached the peak and is starting to roll down the other side. The momentum is now working in your favor instead of against you. But why do so many people never reach this exciting stage? The biggest enemy is something called lifestyle inflation. As soon as people start to see a little bit of success, they want to spend it. They buy a newer car or move into a bigger house with a higher mortgage. They take the gains that were supposed to be their engine and they burn them for fuel. By doing this, they reset the clock on their financial freedom. They trap themselves in a cycle of needing to earn more just to stay in the same place. Another huge obstacle is the fear of market fluctuations. When you are in the middle of your journey, the market will inevitably drop. You might see your $30,000 portfolio drop to $24,000. It feels like your hard work has been erased by a computer screen. But successful investors know that these drops are just part of the process. They are the price you pay for the long-term gains that follow. If you panic and sell during a downturn, you kill the snowball while it is still small. You must have the stomach to stay invested when everyone else is running away. This is especially important for those who are starting later in life. If you are in your 50s and feel like you have missed the boat, listen closely. It is never too late to activate the power of the tipping point. Your strategy might need to be more aggressive with your savings rate, but the math still works exactly the same way for you as it does for a 20-year-old. In fact, you might have an advantage that younger people do not have. You likely have higher earning power now than you did decades ago. You have the wisdom to avoid the flashy toys that drain wealth. If you can focus intensely for the next 5 to 10 years, you can make up for lost time. The key is to minimize your housing costs and eliminate high-interest debt. Every dollar you free up from a bill is another soldier in your investment army. And once that army reaches its critical mass, it becomes unstoppable. Think about what it would feel like to reach that second tipping point. That is when your investments earn as much as your actual day job pays you. Imagine your job pays you $50,000 a year. Once your portfolio hits $500,000, a 10% return gives you $50,000. At that moment, you have officially cloned yourself. You have a second version of you out there working 24 hours a day. This changes your entire relationship with your employer and your career. You no longer work because you have to pay for your survival. You work because you choose to, or because you enjoy the challenge. The fear of being laid off or having a bad boss starts to vanish. You have the ultimate insurance policy sitting in your brokerage account. This is the true meaning of financial peace and security. It is not about having a mountain of gold just to look at it. It is about the freedom to decide how you spend your limited time on this earth. We often get distracted by the big numbers, like $1 million or $2 million. Those are great goals, but they can feel very far away and intimidating. That is why you should focus on the smaller milestones first. Celebrate when your interest covers your monthly grocery bill. Be proud when your portfolio earns enough to pay for your car insurance. These small wins provide the fuel you need to stay the course for the long haul. Wealth accumulation is a marathon, not a sprint. It requires a level of patience that is rare in our modern world. We are used to getting everything instantly with the click of a button. But compounding takes time to show its true power. It is like planting an oak tree in your backyard. For the first few years, it looks like a tiny stick in the ground. You might wonder if it is even growing at all. But deep underground, the roots are spreading and becoming strong. 10 years later, it provides shade for your entire home. 20 years later, it is a landmark that cannot be moved. Your wealth works exactly the same way. Do not be discouraged by the slow start. The first 10,000 is a grind, and the first 50,000 is a battle. But the second 50,000 will come much faster than the first. And the jump from 100,000 to 200,000 will feel like a breeze. This is the beauty of exponential growth. It rewards those who have the discipline to wait. So if you are feeling stuck today, take a deep breath. Look at your current contributions and look at your current balance. Calculate how far you are from your own tipping point. Are you halfway there? Are you only 10% of the way there? Regardless of the answer, the path forward is the same. Keep your expenses low and keep your investments consistent. Turn off the news that tries to scare you out of the market. Trust the math and trust the process. The tipping point is coming for you if you stay in the game. And when it hits, you will realize that all the sacrifices were worth it. You will finally be able to stop pushing the boulder. And you can start enjoying the ride as it carries you toward the finish line. The journey to wealth is not just about the money you accumulate. It is about the person you become along the way. It is about developing the character and the patience to build something lasting. You are creating a legacy of freedom for yourself and your family. Start today by making one small change to your savings rate. Every extra dollar you invest now is a seed for your future shade tree. The math is on your side. Time is your greatest ally. The tipping point is waiting. Go out there and claim it.